So the first one, what have we done to map out all the processes?
That was so helpful for both of us. I mean, obviously you had to learn a little bit about my business, and I had to learn about how to communicate back to you so that you could work your magic with all these automations. So it was a very helpful process back and forth. You really guided me through that really well. I already had some things written down and et cetera, and was able to share that with you both in written form as well as just verbally kind of explaining the structure of our program. And also just really identifying what our needs were. And so that first process was so helpful. It was very insightful to me, actually, to start to look at my own processes through a little bit different lens. And then, of course, you brought in your expertise looking at that and realizing what the solutions would be.
Yes, and I would say that it has been also pretty intense, because especially the first month, because of course we need to understand exactly what the processes are, or the steps, and then understand how to automate those steps, and what needs to be automated and what not, of course. So the output was a first prototype of the processes, and then I started to actually implement those processes. So what was included in this implementation phase?
Yes, so it was, again, a lot of working together, and I should probably emphasize the word working, because while you were doing a lot on your side of things, there was a lot of work that I had to do as well, because obviously I know my business best. I have access to all the information that is necessary to start to build these automations. So it was really a joint effort, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad that I was able to put that work in so that I began to develop a conceptual understanding of what was happening. It is a lot to wrap your mind around, and I will be the first to admit that I am by no means an expert now. I'm still glad to rely on you as the expert, but that process was really helpful, of just working back and forth together. And I used to kind of laugh at the end of our sessions, our calls. You would say, okay, here's your homework. And it really was homework, but it was homework that was so helpful, and actually working together in this way saved some money, because I wasn't just trying to pay someone else to do all of the work for me. But it also meant that I ended up with a product that was exactly what I needed, and it saved time, because I wasn't having to go back and say, well, no, that's not quite how we do it, because I was doing my part of it. And so I was really pleased with that part of the process, even though it was work.